As far as back as I can remember, I've always helped my dad in his restaurant. My father was an immigrant from Bangladesh, and really I've been on this kind of quest seeking his stories and of how he came about, and the Indian restaurant trade, which was actually run by Bangladeshis, you know, going back to the 1940s. And after the passing of my father about 8 years ago, I've just been on this journey trying to uncover the kind of sometimes, you know, the difficult stories, the stories of struggle and perseverance, and, you know, vision that they had of, you know, adopting, you know, this city of Birmingham as a home for them. The purpose of this exhibition, really there are kind of different kind of aims of this exhibition. One of them, I suppose, is about the community itself, the Bangladeshi community itself, taking pride in its achievements, gathering such things and bringing them into such a grand museum space. I think it's really quite remarkable seeing how the community has responded in terms of just having pride in having all of this here. I think that's something that lacks really in the community, confidence in who they are. You know, we're talking about an immigrant people, a people who have always felt perhaps, you know, as the other, marginalized or kind of seen as separate from mainstream society. So really I think it gives me great pride in being able to put this together for the community. But beyond that, there are other kind of angles to the benefits of this exhibition really, because also it's about sharing that story with others, people who are from outside of that community. I think it's an opportunity for people to be aware of the stories. It's an opportunity for people who they may be familiar with the kind of high street curry house, but actually oblivious to the stories behind them of how that curry ended up on their table, on their local high street. This is a golden opportunity to bring this kind of discourse and conversations to emerge around, you know, the things that we were perhaps oblivious to, and that's the case with everything in society. You know, there aren't really outlets for those conversations. So really, this exhibition will hopefully bring about that conversation, bring about that awareness between different communities for them to kind of explore these things together. We've got a great team here at the Knights of the Raj, and one of our team, Richard Baddeley, he's led on the augmented reality aspect of our exhibition, and it's really exciting because what we're taking here is, you know, what you wouldn't expect, you know, the story of curry kind of, you know, presented through through the technology. We have the digital touch table, we have this augmented reality. We really try to embrace technology in telling this story, because often when you go to the museum and you might see static objects, often you might see the old photographs and the old documents. We wanted to try and create something that was a little bit more engaging than just reading of panels. So the augmented reality kind of was a great way for us to bring the walls to life, if you like, where you literally are using your phone or your tablet to have video jumping out at you, you know, to be able to add another layer of information to the things that are presented to us. So just by scanning a photograph and having video just literally kind of present itself. It's new for a lot of people. You have to download the app, but we've been encouraging everybody to try and embrace this, because I think certainly in the museum, like, you know, Birmingham Museum, I think augmented reality has been very little explored, and we hope that we might be able to bring something fresh here. Upon embarking on this project, really, like everybody else, like anyone really, the perception of the curry industry being something that maybe dates back to the 70s, maybe even the 60s, right? Of the economic migrants and the wave of economic migrants that came and established themselves around that era. However, when I kind of dug deeper and went on this journey, as I was trying to uncover documents and photographs and stories, it kind of blew me away of how far back it really went. And it really goes back to the 30s and 40s of curry entering this city. You know, you would never imagine that curry would go so far back into kind of British cafes, like old kind of almost greasy cafes really. Curry and rice was sold in such places. So I think that was something that really kind of was amazed me, in fact, and excited me, that we have perceptions of economic migrants being post 50s and 60s, but it goes way before then. This exhibition might seem like it's aimed at a certain part of society, perhaps the Bangladeshi community, but it isn't. Curry is something that connects us all, right? It's kind of, you know, a much loved dish, which then became a national dish, in fact, chicken tikka masala. So actually food in general is something that kind of connects us, you know. Raja Master is a kind of a legend in the Bangladeshi community. He's a kind of household name that I grew up with because he was one of a few, probably only maybe, Englishmen who was embedded and immersed in the Bangladeshi community and fluently spoke the language even. So I have heard of him, and I kind of tracked him down after, actually it was on my journey in Bangladesh. I went to Bangladesh as part of this project. You know, as far as Bangladesh, I was over there researching and looking for people and looking for different elements. And I discovered Raja in an exhibition over there in the capital city. There was an exhibition where his name was on a big panel, and then it kind of triggered my memory of him. And it was from Bangladesh that I came back and I found that he was living in the country in Gloucestershire. So I managed to connect with him, and then he was living a quiet life over there, and we connected, and he became a real advisor for this project. In fact, you know, one of the pioneers, if you like, of you know, one of the historians who had already mapped the community, who had already documented the community back from the 70s and 60s, and some of his content has now made it into this exhibition. So it was great to kind of connect with one of the pioneers of one of the kind of historians, if you like, and that's how it came about. Food trends are forever changing, and the tandoori restaurant, the Indian classical tandoori restaurant, is certainly under threat. You know, restaurants are closing due to staffing problems. They can't find the staff due to changing tastes in British society. So there are things that are threaten the existence of these very institutions, if you like, that we have become so accustomed to. I worry at the same time that they could become a thing of the past, and I think this exhibition is hopefully a part of preserving that before things change. We don't know where it might go. Things are changing. Street food is becoming popular. You know, you see certain, you know, trends and different ways where things are kind of moving in different directions. So I hope I'm able to capture this moment in time before things change too much, really.